Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. As always, I am super excited about this reading vlog, but even more so because I am starting this reading vlog off with one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I have an ARC through NetGalley for it, and I can't wait to talk to you all about it because I am absolutely going to finish it tonight because I am obsessed with it. And that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and oh my gosh, okay, we'll just have to wait until we really start this vlog up to talk about my feelings, but this is insane. Like, this is such a good romance book, and I just need to talk to you all about it because it comes out April 2nd. So if you haven't already, mark your calendars, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. And in the spirit of knocking some books off of my NetGalley shelf, I'm going to be picking up An Enchanting Case of Spirits by Melissa Holtz. This comes out April 9th, and I want to make sure to get to it so I have enough time to read it and review it for you. I'm going to need to refresh myself a bit on what this book focuses on, so I will do that and definitely give you all an overview and take you along with my thoughts, but just another fun new release that I get to share with you all before it even comes out. And then lastly, we are going to dive back into the Magnolia Parks universe and get back into Daisy Hates the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. This is book 4, and we are back to focusing on Daisy and Christian and Julian, and I just can't wait for it. I love these characters so much, and I've said this in my past vlogs, but I feel like these books have a tad bit more plot because of the whole, like gang lord, art acquirer kind of thing. So I cannot wait to get back into it, and it's pretty short, and I'm very thankful for it because these books have been getting pretty darn thick. And those are my reading plans for the week. I don't have any plans this week. None. And that is always so exciting. Plans are exciting, but so is no plans. So we have plenty of time to keep our reading up. I am going to be doing a little bit of grad school work, but I need you all to know I have 4 projects within the semester. I have submitted 3 and gotten myself up to an A on all 3. So all we have to do is a little bit more work and then we are donezo for this semester. So we are going to knock that out as well. And then other than that, probably just enjoy the weekend and not having too many plans because the next couple of weekends we do have plans and it's a little bit busy, but it's also really exciting plans that I'm excited to take you all along for as well. So with all of that, let's jump into the vlog and I will be back with a reading update shortly. Okay everyone, it's a bit later now, but I am about to just crank out Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So I wanted to give you all just an overview of it and what my thoughts are so far. Okay, so this story focuses on our 2 main characters, so it's dual POV, and we have Emma and Justin. Justin posted on Reddit and was asking if he was the a-hole in a situation for naming his really ugly dog after his best friend because he ditched him for a girl or whatever. And he has this charm where after these girls date him, it's happened like 7 times. After the girl dates him, she goes on to find her forever, her person, her husband. And he's just like, I'm really tired of this, but like whatever. And so Emma sees this and she notes that, hey, that's happened to me a couple of times. And they start talking about their stories and they were like, maybe if we met up and we dated and then broke up, then we would find our person afterwards so that it would be done, the curse would be broken, and we could both go on to find our happily ever afters. So Emma is a traveling nurse and she ultimately decides to go and pursue this, and it evolves so quickly from there. Like, what was once maybe a game is now just completely different. And since she's a traveling nurse, there's a time limit on it. They have 6 weeks together, and then they agree that they are going to break up and go their separate ways and hopefully find their one true loves and all that good stuff. But they are so complex as characters. Like, they have different family trauma that they have been having to deal with, and then you can just really feel the connection between the 2 of them. Justin is just the best. Like, I love him. He is so sweet. And we also get, I didn't know that this was the case because it doesn't say afterwards like part of your world number 3 or whatever, but this is part of the interconnected standalones because we are getting cameos from the previous 2 books. and I am loving it. I was so excited to see those characters and was just like, "Ah, this is just perfect." And now they're all in the same world and I'm just a happy camper because they're perfect. So you can just feel the connection between these characters, but they both have a lot going on in their lives and they have to figure out if they can be together, how to be together, and really break down some of the mental walls around commitment as well. And it's so good. Like they are so sweet and you can just tell that they want to, but they just aren't sure how. And so I'm hoping that we're about to get more of that. There is a microtrope that isn't like a spoiler, but it is, I love, love, love when the main characters take care of each other when they're sick. It's just so romantic to me. I love it so much. So I have really, really been enjoying it. And I wanted to say that I think it's going to be the romance of the year because Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly was Book of the Month's Book of the Year for 2023. And this is equal to it. And I'm going to keep it at that because I loved Yours Truly because of the mental health representation. And Brianna and Jacob were just so, so sweet together. And I love their story. It was perfect. And I'm getting very similar vibes from this one as well. So that's the overview. It comes out on April 2nd and I can't wait for y'all to pick it up, but now I'm gonna go finish it and give you all my overall review. Let's do it. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning now, and I did indeed finish Just for the Summer last night by Abby Jimenez, and as predicted, I gave it 5 stars. I think that's something Abby Jimenez does so well is really talks about how important it is to get yourself right before you can be right for other people. And I think that this story is no exception. Obviously, it is just so much easier to downplay your trauma or whatever you have going on in your life to be with somebody, but I mean, it just can't always be stable because you aren't stable. And I just love how she portrayed that in such a mature and responsible way in this book. And I just love these characters so much. And the ending, like the epilogue, was so perfect. Like it would just like tied everything full circle. And I thought it was so fantastic. So I really, really, really enjoyed this story. And I think that it's going to be a very top contender for the romance of the year. I don't know if you all have book of the month, but they do a book of the year. And last year, Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly was book of the year, and I feel like this is of the same caliber. So I really love that. And also I want to say I did not really enjoy Part of Your World. I did not enjoy that book. It really stressed me out. Well, honestly, I think I hate read it. I did not enjoy it. I didn't really like our main female character very much, but I will have you all know that it is kind of important to read that entire series because it's just so much more impactful. Like I had goosebumps when we got the cameos in here and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad that I read Part of Your World so that I could have this full circle moment in this book. That is my Abby Jimenez propaganda. That is my vote to you all, and I hope that you all pick up this series. And I hope that if you already have read Part of Your World and Yours Truly, that you will pick up Just for the Summer on April 2nd when it comes out. I know I will because I highlighted the mess out of my NetGalley arc, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tab it and I'm gonna write my little notes on it. I have to tell you all, because there were so many good quotes, like so many good quotes, but I think that something, well, 2 things. One, the amount of effort that our main male character put in to this woman was just unmatched. Like, I don't want to spoil anything because I loved figuring it out for myself what he was doing, and he was just so thoughtful and intentional, and I just really, really enjoyed that about his character and how even though he had a lot going on in his life, he was like, I will make room for this woman, and like swoon. But also it was her birthday and she didn't really expect anything because of stuff you'll figure out in the book, but she's like, I feel like I'm asking too much. And he said, you've never asked for too much. You were just asking the wrong person. Ask me instead. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my gosh, people, do you know like what a man that is? I all the way up till I mean, just perfect, just a perfect man. And I know that he's not actually perfect. I understand that, but in every sense of the word, he may have been perfect. And I just really loved him. They were funny together and they grew so much with one another and I loved it. So that is my rant. I highly recommend. Check the trigger warnings, obviously, but I loved it so much and would highly encourage everybody read it because these are romance books that I have just not been able to put down. Yours truly was my favorite last year, and I think this one is going to be my favorite this year because they're just so good. Like there's comedic relief, but then there's also just other elements to the romance, and I love that. And they're so real. Like they're just very real books, and I love it. And now I'm going to stop talking about it because good Lord. So that's that. I got it off of my NetGalley shelf, wrote my review last night, and went from a 42% on NetGalley to a 47. So not to brag or anything, but working my way back up. Tonight I think that I'm going to start Melissa Holt's An Enchanting Case of Spirits and go from there. NetGalley arcs are either like such a hit or such a miss for me. So I'm really hoping that this one hits, but it's pretty hard to follow up just for the summer. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt here. That is my plan, go to work and then come back and kind of chill out. It's supposed to be 70 today, but like it's 40 right now. So how am I supposed to dress for this? I'm in like a light turtleneck. I don't know. I'll see you all tonight. Also, look at this man. So sweet. Hey there everyone, it is now Tuesday afternoon. It was so nice outside today that I went for a run outside. I know I look extra ghostly and probably a little bit red because of the sun hitting my skin for the first time in many months, so please ignore that. But we had a nice run because Scooter had to go to the bathroom at 3 a.m. and guess who was lucky enough to take him? It was me. And that made me not want to get up for my morning workout. So I got home from work and made that a priority, which I'm very glad that I did. And now I'm about to go shower and it's only like 5:45, so that is pretty funny. But I was so excited because I have requested books from publishers many a times. Many a times in my life have I requested something and I honestly thought that they just filtered that right on through. But I came home today to some book mail. That is so exciting. And that was a finished copy of A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine. I am so excited about this because one, it is pub day as I am filming this. So that is extremely exciting because it came out today and it showed up and I'm just so happy because I read it as a arc through NetGalley and I gave it 4 stars. I had such a good time with it and she is stunning. Like she looks so good. I'm so excited to add her to my shelf. Also, I think it's going to be a Fairy Loot adult pick for April or March, one of the two, but it won't be coming for a minute because there's some type of like shipping delays. So I am just so excited to have this in my hands right now. So thank you so much to Orbit Books for fulfilling my request. How nice. Also, it is like fantastically floppy and I'm more excited about this now because my friend said this very well, but she said that it is just so odd to start reading a new fantasy world because there's all of these words that are just simply made up. They don't exist, but in this fantasy world they do. So we have a really nice glossary right here at the back that you can flip to try to keep everything straight. I didn't need it per se. You can use context clues to kind of get out of it what you need, but a glossary would help. So that is very exciting for me. But I am going to go shower and then we're going to do dinner and then hopefully get into some reading. So I will see you all in a minute. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We did a little bit of book thrifting, so let's talk about it. Okay, so first off, I went to Shelf Life Books because I follow them on Instagram, and they had two books that I've been really wanting to get into, and they were $10 each, which is a really good price for them because they're pretty thick. And then I just was like, okay, we'll just make a day of it. So I went and just looked around. They have a really great used book section, which you all saw, and I just love it in there. It's so lovely, and they have cats. Like, how fun is that? Let's talk about what I got. Okay, so first I reserved these two from Instagram that they had posted, so I wanted to show you all The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I am so excited. It's in basically perfect condition, and I'm so excited. I've heard such good things about this author, and the person who was checking me out also said it was one of her favorite series of all times. It was one of her staff picks. So I am thrilled to have this. And The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. So these are books 1 and 2 respectively, and the third book apparently comes out in November of this year. So I am just so excited because these are in such good condition. And yeah, it's a really great and highly acclaimed series. It's the Bloodsworn trilogy. So I am very pumped about them, but they are super thick. Oh, that's gonna look so good. Yeah, those look just so good together. So that was really awesome, and I just really want to get into fantasy more, and everybody said that these are great books, so I just listened to the people. And then when I was looking around the used book section, I found A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher, and this just looks like such a cozy book. And again, when the girl was checking me out, she said actually me and my friend had read that book, like the same copy, and then dropped it off at Shelf Life because she thought that somebody else would really enjoy it, and I just happened to be that person. She told me I had great taste, so no big deal. But I think that this is like another cozy fantasy. Oh, it's just, yeah. Cozy fantasy is going to have baking, obviously, so I can't wait. I think it's going to be so cute. And then the last book that I found was Under Lock and Skeleton Key by Gigi Pandian, maybe? And I saw Olivia Read the Latte read this book, and she really enjoyed it. It's another cozy mystery, and so I thought that this would just be so much fun. I honestly don't remember any of her thoughts on it. I just remember that she read it, and so I am now going to read it, obviously. So that is my book haul. Altogether, it was like 40 bucks, which truly isn't that bad. And the two that I reserved through Instagram, I paid with Venmo, and I had a Venmo balance, so basically they were free. So yeah, that is my book haul for the day. I was just so pleased. The weather has been great, and I got good sleep in last night, so I'm feeling much better today. But last night, let me tell you all, I got 13% into An Enchanting Case of Spirits by Melissa Holtz, and I'm really hoping that tonight it resonates better. First, I already knew that whatever was going to follow just for the summer was going to have a hard time. It was just going to be a hard time because it was just such a good romance book. But I'm struggling a bit. So we have our main female character, Allie, who it's her 40th birthday. We open on her 40th birthday, and she is hating every moment of it. She just wants to be left alone. She is at the bottom of her carton of ice cream, and her friends call, and it's like, we don't want you to be alone today, and barge into her house, make her look somewhat presentable, and then they go out for margs. And the reason that she hasn't really been celebrating is because she is now a widow. Her husband has been gone for 2 years now, and she really hasn't fully recovered since. And so she decides tonight she's just going to throw caution to the wind. She's going to have some fun. And her two friends, they had been having these girl nights together outside of her because Allie just hasn't been feeling up to it. So they were hanging out, and they started to go see a psychic and have tarot cards read and all that good stuff. But Allie wants to make a connection with the other world, hopefully connection with her late husband. And it seems pretty funky once she gets there because there is definitely something that is charged. They have a pretty intense reaction to it. And so now she is basically just going home, and we're gonna see what happens next. But all of that to say, it's fine. it's fine so far. I'm hoping that something's about to happen and we'll kick it up a notch, but I am not sure yet. So overall, it's just average. But tonight we are going to hang out and probably start editing the weekly vlog from last week. I think that I also want to try and get my project 4 done, and that's basically just cleaning up my entire report. So hopefully I can get that done and get that submitted and just see what my grade is and what needs to be done for it, because I would love for that to be done just as soon as possible and just call it a day. I just have a Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking just sitting up here, and it says Siege, Sorcery, and Sourdough. This is just going to be delightful. Let's go take Scooty Dude on a walk and then get down to some computer work and then hopefully get back to some reading. You guys, it's a little bit later now and I am just trying so hard to make myself focus and clean up this document so that I can just submit it. But what I'm really going to do is the absolute bare minimum and submit that and then let him tell me what I need to do to correct it, because I have nothing in me to give to this anymore. If I just did it right the first time, I wouldn't have to redo it, but I don't think that's going to be an option for me tonight, so oh well. Hey there everyone, it is Thursday. We have made it to Thursday. How exciting is that? And I had like a really fun outfit today. I was very proud of it, but I don't know if this ever happens to you. I never wear white pants, and I wore white pants today, and I was so scared the whole day that I was gonna sit on something or spill something. Do I ever spill anything? No. Would I have today? Yes, but I think I made it through the entire day without getting anything on them, so that was great. No crazy updates today though. I walked a little bit more last night and kept on reading An Enchanting Case of Spirits, and I got to, I guess, like the what is happening with the spirits part of this, and I am definitely struggling because first we have a widow who is just turning 40 years old, and I'm not saying that I can judge how anybody grieves for the loss of their partner, but she is acting like a teenager right now, and just like very like standoffish, very grumpy, like just kind of being rude and just a little bit unreasonable to those around her, and I don't vibe with that very much. Like if there's a 40-year-old, like I want them to act like they're 40. And I also, I mean, like I've read books where that happened and it's done really well. I'm like, wow, this is good. This is fine. Like the Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, that focuses on a middle-aged woman, and I love that book. Like I loved how mature and responsible the decisions were. I think that there's a way that you can do like a funny midlife gal, but like also still be like, oh, like life has taught me these lessons and I'm a little bit different than a teenager because of it, you know? So yeah, I think I'm about 28% of the way in there, so almost 100 pages in. Definitely a little bit slower of a reading week. I feel like I just have other things going on right now, so I don't have a lot of time to read, but I'm going to continue to push myself to get through that because the weekend is coming and I have book club books to get to, so I need to knock this one out so I can move on to Daisy Hates. But we're actually about to go on a run because it is just 80 degrees outside and so nice. I'm gonna go do that and then probably sit outside and read for a bit while I'm doing it. So I think that's a plan, and let's go get to it. Everyone, and happy Friday. I am so happy to be working from home today. It's about 7 a.m. now. I'm just drinking my coffee and about to log in, and Wow, I am so excited to sleep in this weekend. The time change last weekend, I think, really just threw me completely off. So I'm really hoping to catch up on some sleep this weekend and kind of get my life in order. Just a quick live chat really quick. I feel like I'm getting absolutely destroyed at work right now. So I feel like the rest of my life just feels a little bit more chaotic too, and I'm not really loving the book that I'm reading right now. So everything is just a little bit tougher. But this weekend, I know that I have to edit this weekly vlog, and then also I need to do my taxes. I have to get that done this weekend, and then also submit my grad school project because I never circled back to doing that because last night all I did was read. I just tried to crank out some of the book and I got about 45% of the way into it. So we're making progress. I don't think that I necessarily like that I'm making progress, but I hate that it's a NetGalley arc because I think if I don't finish it, or if I say I'm not going to review it, then it messes with my ratio. And I don't want it to mess with my ratio. I would like for it to just, I'm gonna finish it. That's what's gonna happen. I don't encourage that behavior, but I do it myself. But I am really looking forward to tonight. Dylan and I have a date night at this Italian restaurant that I have really fond memories of. So I am really excited for that and hope that it is great. And then we're going to watch the Love is Blind reunion. So it's just going to be a phenomenal night. So I'm really looking forward to that, but we just have to get through the workday first. Yeah, we have a lot to do. I'm hoping to crank out tomorrow a lot of what I have to do. So get the editing done, get the taxes done, so that Sunday can just be like okay, we are going to actually relax now. So fingers crossed that I can do that. And I guess I'm putting a lot of pressure on right now because the rest of the month is a little bit more chaotic on the weekends. So I want to make sure that I'm using this time right on the weekend so I don't have to stress about it when I'm supposed to be having other fun plans. So that is how my brain works, and I don't know if I like it or not, but I think it works for me. But let me just talk about An Enchanted Case of Spirits really quick because we are moving more so into the story, and we definitely have that paranormal element, which, I mean, honestly, if it was just that, I think I would be enjoying it a ton more. But we have like a really odd like love dynamic, but it's not even really there. But the male love interest, who she doesn't even admit like at all that she's into, he has his own chapters that are like interspersed throughout the book, and it just seems pretty odd for somebody who doesn't really have that much face time with her at right now. We're almost halfway through the book, so I'm just really confused about the romance element to this. And then the paranormal element, that's fine. I'm good with that. But I guess our main female character is just a little bit hard to like right now. I don't know. It might be like a 2.5 to 3 stars right now unless it really turns around. And I hate being negative about books, especially books that are like new releases and about to come out. So, I mean, always take my information with a grain of salt, but that is just how I'm feeling about it. And I just know that I have Daisy Hates on the other side of this book, so I'm just getting really amped up for that too. And I need to start another audiobook, but after An Education of Malice, I'm just like, I don't know what I want to listen to. Like, I don't know. What should I listen to? So that's that. And now I am going to go do work so I can get paid and continue on with my life. So I'll see you all after work. Morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning now, and I don't know what is going on this week, but I'm just so sleepy. Like, this time change, I'm really hoping that it just catches up because I slept for so long and I am still feeling pretty low energy. So I'm hoping that that'll kind of resolve itself here soon because it's pretty inconvenient. But it's about 9 a.m. now, and we are about to get started on a lot of work because we want to set ourselves up right for the rest of the month. So with that, I'm going to be editing, taxes, grad school, and I'm also doing the laundry at the same time. So every hour, typically, I get to get up and like switch that, which I feel like is always a good break. But I wanted to tell you all about my book, and that is still An Enchanted Case of Spirits. I am at 90% now. and my thoughts on it really haven't changed that much. I think that it's going to be like a 2.5 star rounded up to 3. In this, I can't remember if I said it in this vlog or the last one, but NetGalley arcs are either a hit or a miss. Obviously, we started this week with Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and that was just a hit. It couldn't have hit harder if it wanted to. But now we have this Enchanted Case of Spirits, and I just don't enjoy it. And it's funny because all of the reviews really enjoyed it, so maybe I just wasn't the demographic for it. But anyway, I'm really glad that I only have 10% left of that, because I am going to start the book club book tomorrow, hopefully, if not tonight. But yeah, I'll try at the end of this to give just a more comprehensive review of it. But I feel like I've been talking about it throughout this video, and I hate when I have a book that is like the sole book that I'm reading in this vlog to then just not enjoy it as much as I am, because, you know, like I want to tell you all like exciting things and good book recommendations, and not necessarily ones that I'm kind of lackluster about. But also I feel like those reviews are also really helpful, so I don't know, that's just me. But I wanted to say that we watched the Love is Blind reunion last night, and I loved it. I felt like it was done so well, and the questions were good, the engagement was good, and I really liked how they ended it with like, what is your favorite part of like watching Love is Blind? And truly, I think Brennan said it, but being able to pause and talk about it with your significant other, like we did that the whole time. That is a staple of what we do in that show, and I loved it. So I was just thrilled to see that, and kind of, I mean, I was tearing up over it because you just got to see some of the people that are happy and also relive some of the stuff that went down and really get to see it through. It's very humanizing, I feel like the reunion is. So I really loved it, and I am excited for the next season. I don't know if we're gonna watch Perfect Match. That one just seems like so bizarre. We watched the first season, but it's not that great. Really, what I'm waiting for is Too Hot to Handle to come back on, because that one is always so much fun, and it just calls out what it is, and I appreciate that a ton. But let's go ahead and get cranking through some of this work, and I will see you all hopefully on the other side and having accomplished a lot today. Okay, everyone, I am standing up. My standing desk is really nice and I love it so much. But I just finished editing the vlog that's going up tomorrow, and that always takes just so long. Like, it is, I mean, I love doing it. I love creating these vlogs. I think that they are so much fun, and getting to go back and watch myself experience something. I truly do love it, but wow, does it take a hot minute to do when it's like 40-minute long videos. I don't know how people do the 1.5 to 2 hour long videos, because that is a lot of editing. The worst part is certainly the music though. I cannot stand trying to find music to fit any type of vibe. So that's that. I'm glad that that is done and it's uploading now. So what I'm gonna do, because that also drains the entire battery of my laptop, I am going to finish my book. I have about 45 minutes left of, you all know what I'm reading. I don't need to say it again, but it is an Enchanted Case of Spirits. And so I'm going to finish that and then probably go into my grad school work. So we'll get to that, and then later on, Dill and I are going to do taxes together because we are married now, so we can file jointly. And what that means is that I'm going to give him all of my documents and he's going to do it, because that is a man job. Not really. Not actually, but like I just don't feel like doing it, so it'd be a lot cooler if he handled it. So let's go get cozy and get some reading done, and then I will also do my review and then be able to submit that to NetGalley, and my ratio will go up a little bit more, so yay. a little bit later. It's actually much later. It's like 5:30 now. So we have had nothing but a productive day today. We went grocery shopping, watered the plants, did laundry, updated the budget. So we did a lot of very productive things. I am not mad about it. We're about to have our friends come over and do a burger night. So all of that is very well and good. And I hope tomorrow I'm able to kind of reap the benefits a little bit, because all I have to do is taxes and submit my last grad school project. So I'm going to focus on that tomorrow morning, and then maybe I get some pho with my sister. We'll see if that happens, but I'm very hopeful because I do love pho. And I finished, you know, all of those memes where it's like, well, as soon as you finish a book, you forget everything about it. Well, that apparently just happened to me. I just finished An Enchanting Case of Spirits by Melissa Holtz, and I decided to give it a 2.5 star rating, and I rounded it up on Goodreads to 3, but it just really was nothing great for me, unfortunately. It was fine. I really thought, and I guess this is where it gets me, because the premise is really good. Like, a grieving widow going to a psychic to contact her husband, realizes she has her own medium abilities, and then she gets stuck with a bunch of spirits that are in limbo. Like, that is fun. But I feel like we just were told a lot of things. She's like, well, I know that this is different and all of this good stuff, instead of like showing us maybe what her relationship was like with her husband versus her new romance. And I don't even think that we needed a romance in this story, honestly, because at the beginning of the book, she was so deep in her grief, and for most of the book, she's still very deep in it. So it was just so weird, I guess, going straight into this romance, because I would have liked to see more of her, like, focusing on herself, her female friendships, her daughter. Like, those are aspects I think would have been cooler, and then understanding her new, like, medium abilities. I think that that just for me would have been better off, but it was just like a very weird kind of like lusty romance too. I didn't really feel any type of connection between them. So I don't know. There were a lot of things where I was just like, you know, this book just wasn't for me. I wasn't the intended audience. I'm not sure who it is, but it certainly wasn't me. So that, I'm very happy that that is done now, and I can happily move on. And I submitted my NetGalley review, so that's done. My ratio is coming back up a bit, so that's great. I only have one more NetGalley arc that I have on my TBR for this month, which is great. But that means that we get to pick up our next book, which is going to be Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, and I am so pumped to get back into this world, and especially with Daisy and Christian and Julian. Like, give me all of them all the time. I'm so excited for this. I don't know. I'm just stoked, especially after where it left off in Daisy Hates, and I just can't wait. Book club is on Wednesday, so I definitely need to get a move on it, so I'll need to do a lot of reading tomorrow, hopefully. But honestly, for a Magnolia Parks Universe book, this is pretty short. It looks like it's only 350 some pages, so it should fly by, which, I mean, it's kind of sad because I actually really like these books. I'm excited for it nonetheless. And yeah, so that is the plan for the night, and I will see you all probably tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday now. It's about 12. And we had a very slow morning because we spent so much time trying to do taxes. Oh my gosh, it is ridiculous. And it took so long to just do like W-2s and investment accounts. And they're like, you still have an hour and a half left. I'm like, what else is there? So that was super fun. We didn't even finish. We'll have to do that a little bit later. But I went for a short run, tried to take Scoot. Really didn't like that one. And then I'm about to go meet my sister and her boyfriend for pho, and then hopefully get to grad school so that I can submit that project and hopefully, fingers crossed, be done for the semester. A lot of high hopes for this afternoon. Unfortunately, not a lot of reading. And it makes me super bummed out, but I'm also hoping that if I'm doing this much this weekend, then I'll be able to set myself up really well for the week and not have that much to do. I wanted to say that I was super proud of myself yesterday for just getting stuff done, because it is not easy for me to do things past 3 p.m. on the weekends. Like, I'm like, oh, you're gonna work really hard right up until 3 p.m. and then you're gonna like relax and have you time. But unfortunately, I have been sleeping in a lot later, and so that means that I can't really afford to not spend those productive hours being productive at this point. Like, I have to keep going, and that's okay. I feel like that's important to recognize. Like, sometimes it's just nice when you can just push yourself a little bit more and get it done so you don't just push it off until the next day. So anyways, I'm really hoping to get a lot of things knocked off the old to-do list, and then that means next weekend when we are doing fun things that I can just really enjoy the fun things and not have that mental tab open. On a reading update note, I did start Daisy Hates the Great Undoing last night, and I got about 19 pages in, and I already am just like, this is going to be, again, gut-wrenching. It's tough because these characters, and it's very similar in Magnolia and BJ's stories, they're always just like, I want to be with this person, but I can't, so I'm going to be with this person instead. So just substituting it out, like not necessarily moving on, but just trying to patch a hole, and just, I mean, it just always causes the other person involved pain, and that just makes me so mad. I can't stand that at all. But, you know, it is what it is. We are doing this, and I am just honestly more excited to see Julian's perspectives here, because based off of what happened in Magnolia Parks: The Long Way Home, we're gonna get a new interesting development there, and I cannot wait for it. But yeah, it's already like very heavy on my heart because of these characters and like what they want. I feel like this one has a bit more because Daisy makes a decision for herself that she feels like is the right decision, and since she's made that decision, she can't be with somebody else because they are in direct contrast to what she's decided for herself. And so like that makes a bit more sense, and it has been, I guess it'll be interesting to see where she goes with this, but I don't know. I'm hoping to get quite a bit more done. I'd love to get up to page like 100, 150 today, at least halfway, because I mean, book club's on Wednesday and I really don't want to rush through this week. So that's all of that. And now I am going to go do a few more things before, I was going to say brunch, but it's fun. I don't think that that is brunch material. So let's go do those things. Hey there everyone, this is just a quick little update, but while I was waiting for FUD, I went there, they were like, oh, that'll be 20 minutes. It was right beside the bookstore that we went to earlier this week, and I said, I'll just go peruse, as you do. And I found 2 more books, so the entire video is just so full of book acquiring, but I just can't even be mad about it. So the first book that I found was Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Menasala, and I am so excited because I've been looking for this one for a while because it's a cozy mystery, and like I think actually cozy, like it has death obviously, but it has like cooking elements, so I think it'll be a ton of fun. And I know that this is the start of a, like, I don't know if it would be like an interconnected series, but I know that this is the first in like the Atita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery, so there's more of them after that, and I got it for $8.95. And then I couldn't even believe that I found this, but I found a copy of Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry, and I've never read anything by Devney Perry. This series has never really intrigued me that much, but I saw it there and I was like, oh my god, like this might be your sign that you need to try this out, because I think it's a like a romantic suspense novel. So I'm really excited, and it was the first book in the Eden series, so I was just like, yes, like this is your sign, you're going to read it now. And I think it's pretty short, so I'm pumped. Now it is time to go and put on our comfy clothes and get down to doing some grad school work so I can be done with that, submit it, and have a chill rest of the evening. So let's go. there everyone, I'm just here to close off the vlog, so let's talk about all the books that I read this week and my rapid fire thoughts on them. So first, at the beginning of the week, I finished Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez and I gave it 5 stars. It was so amazing. The chemistry was so good, but also the description of like real life issues and how they were handled. It was all done so well, and I'm so excited for you all to get your hands on it when it comes out on April 2nd. Next, I finished An Enchanting Case of Spirits by Melissa Holtz, and this comes out on April 9th, and I ended up giving this 2.5 stars. I think you all saw my reactions to this book throughout the entire vlog. It just was not something that really resonated with me. There were one too many things that I was thinking, oh, this probably could have been done differently and done really well for me, but it had everything that I needed to be great. It just didn't end up rising to the occasion, unfortunately. And then I got a whopping 55 pages into Daisy Hates the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. And that means that I have a lot of reading to do in my next vlog because Wednesday book club is coming around pretty quick. But I'm already so happy to be back in this world with these characters. It is just like coming home almost. Like I feel like I know them and I love it. The plot is a little bit thicker in the Daisy Hates books, so I'm definitely enjoying that aspect and also seeing where we are as a result of what we left off on in Daisy Hates. So really enjoying this, and we'll be continuing to read it in my next vlog. And those are all of my thoughts. Thank you all for hanging out this week. I hope you all had fun, and let me know what you ended up reading last week, okay? Alright, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!